Hey, it's Lucas, and today we're going to be trying this Peace Naturals Atomic Sour Grapefruit for the first time. Before we get into this review, I just need to make it very clear to YouTube that this is 100% legal medication. I will not be showing the medication in this video. I will not be medicating in this video. I'm purely talking about a legal medication. Don't age restrict this video. So Atomic Sour Grapefruit is a cross between ChemDog and SFVOG. I've tried ChemDog on its own before, but I haven't tried SFVOG. So according to Allbud, which is what the MedBud wiki also quotes on their page, this is an indica dominant hybrid. I'm going to be using this as my daytime strain, or I guess we'll see, depending on how it affects me today. I was hoping to use this as my daytime strain. So first up, we'll go through the packaging. There's not really much to talk about. Same old plain white medical packaging with the label on the front and not much else. So I'm going to crack this open for the first time, and obviously it's still sealed. Break the seal. The first smell that I got was just pure medical pot, and then as I stuck my nose further down in there, I definitely got a grapefruit sort of nose sting. If I put my nose over the edge of the tub and just inhale lightly, there's definitely a sweet, fruity, almost nose stingy grapefruit smell, but then if I put my nose deeper into the pot and really like huff it, I get this weird sort of medicinal doctor's office slash cushy type smell. It smells like somebody's just opened up a bag of weed in a doctor's office, and also somebody's sprayed some grapefruit air freshener or something. I'm definitely getting more of a sweet fruity smell than as if you walked into a doctor's office and he had a bag of weed in his drawer, but combine that together and it's a little bit off-putting for me personally. I feel like this is another one of those strains where if you take it out of the medical pot and put it in a glass jar for a couple of weeks, that fruity smell will really shine through, and probably, but I don't know, maybe the medicinal smell will fade away and just leave the OG grapefruity cushy sort of smell. It's not the worst medical pot I've smelled, so right off the bat, my brain said 7, but I think I'm actually gonna give it 6.9 because there's just something about it that I don't really like. I like the fruitiness, I don't really know how to describe the other layer of it. It smells like a musky grapefruit in a doctor's office, and that is the best way that I can think to describe this at the minute. So yeah, 6.9. It's not terrible, but it's not the best medical that I've ever smelled. The look of this isn't terrible. It's tight, dense nugs, mainly smalls. They are a mixture of light and dark green. Some, I want to say almost purples on there, but with most of them medical, they're looking more black than purple, which is not really my preference, but I can't complain too much compared to the dead brown shit that we've seen before. This is actually pretty nice. I feel like I've been spoiled by the crumbled lime 10 that I tried yesterday. Everything after that, if it's not up to that standard, is going to be a little bit disappointing, but I've heard good things about this Atomic Sour Grapefruit. The looks for me are going to get a 7.75. The colour on them is pretty good. The shape, the density is all pretty nice. They're a little bit spongy, but most medical that I've had so far has been very spongy. I can't really complain too much. It's not bad. I'm going to give it 7.75, definitely on the higher end of good looking buds. Like always, if you want to see the nugs, click the link in the pinned comment and that'll take you to a short showing them. Just don't show them here so that the video doesn't get age restricted. In the grinder it breaks down to be really fluffy. I put 3 small nugs in there and it filled the bottom chamber. The smell is very similar to some of the jelly strains I've had. I always said that one of the best strains that I've ever tried for me personally was Jelly Breath because it just made me feel amazing. It smells very similar to that in that it's sweet, it's got the tangy, nose stingy grapefruit terps there, but it's also got a musky, really deep herbal cushiness to it. The grapefruit isn't overpowering, it's more of a mixed musky citrus tang mixed with the cushiness of it. I really like it. It smells great ground down, a lot better than when it's whole nugs. The whole nugs in the pot I'm going to give a 7.5. They're pretty good, but broken down it boosts it to an 8. It's really good broken down. The way that I like to medicate is I'll start out at 160 and get a few flavourful pulls with hardly any vapour, and then I will gradually step it up in increments of 5 or 10 until I reach 210. In the Mighty at 160, as soon as the vapour hits your tongue, it's like you've taken a bite out of an actual grapefruit. It's super tangy, really flavourful. At 170, the tang is surrounded by more earthiness, which just takes the edge off that little bit. As you increase the temperature, the sourness mellows out a lot, mixes with the earthiness to produce more of a, I don't know what the feeling is in the back of your throat when you eat a grapefruit. Obviously there's the sourness, but then bitter. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know why that was so hard for me to find, but yeah, as you increase the temperature, the sour grapefruit kind of mellows a little bit, the earthiness comes through and it becomes a lot more bitter. Well, not a lot, but more bitter than it was at the start. I'm pretty sure I just said that the sourness mellows out, but I'm gonna retract that, and I'm gonna say that as you increase the temperature, it feels like there's more of a sour feeling in your mouth, and I couldn't really think of a word to describe it apart from like when you eat pineapple and there's that enzyme in pineapple. You can tell that I'm getting baked now. There's that enzyme in pineapple that eats you. I think it's called like bromelain or something. Anyway, I googled it because that's the feeling that I was getting in my mouth, and it turns out that that's in grapefruit as well, so it makes sense that I'm getting that sort of puckering sour sort of feeling in my mouth as I up the temperature. Yeah, that makes sense. It feels like as if you were eating a grapefruit or a pineapple. That sour, bitter feeling of it eating you back it feels like it's in my mouth right now as I up the temperature. So whilst the effects set in, I'm going to jump into the rating. So the looks, I'm going to give a 7. I feel like this has been really overhyped on the looks, if I'm honest. Everyone says how amazing this looks, and mine, it looks good, I'll give it that. For medical, it looks good, but just in general, for bud, it looks like some, what is it that I've got? Some white rumps that I've got at the minute, that I've had since before I got my prescription, because I don't really like it. That's why I've still got it, but it reminds me of that. And when I got that on Black Market, that was small nugs, and I thought, this looks nice, but it's, you know, that's it. It's alright, it looks nice, but I've had better. And that's how I feel about this. I feel like everybody's really roaring about it, and yes, for medical, it is some of the nicer looking bud, but just in general, it's okay. I think I said 7.5 in the beginning. I'm lowering it to a 7.25. I won't be so harsh as to give it a 7, but 7.25 I think is fair. The smaller nugs are not my preference. I don't need massive ones, but these are just like, it feels like the scrappy end of the bag type thing. So 7.25 for the looks. The smell in the pot is pretty good, I'll give it that. It's even better when it's ground up, but it does smell a little bit like tub, which I guess can't be helped, but it takes away from it a little bit. So in the pot, I'm going to give it a 7.5, and then when it's broken down, for medical, I'm going to go as far as an 8. I really like the smell. For the taste, so I don't know if you can tell, but I'm coming on with a cold. It started this morning, but I wanted to do this video anyway before it gets any worse. So putting that to one side, all the medical flour that I've tried so far has been really, really muted. This, however, right off the bat, tasted like grapefruit. Sweet, tangy grapefruit. So putting the cold to one side, as soon as I tried this, I got hit with citrusy, grapefruity, sweet, just flavour in general. All the other medical flowers that I've tried, it takes a couple of pulls to get any real flavours in your mouth, but this straight away, it was like vaping Black Market, just filled my mouth with flavour. As you increase the temperature, your mouth starts to feel more sour, there's more earthiness, and just all the flavours kind of meld together. There's more sweetness, it's citrus, it's skunky in a way. Maybe skunky is the wrong word, it's a little bit earthy, it's just, it's mixture, it's balanced, there's sweetness, there's, I keep saying earthiness because I can't really think of another word to describe it. It is just sour earthy grapefruit, just sour earthy grapefruit. The flavour is good. The fact that there is flavour without having to go searching really hard for it is also really, really good. I'll give it an 8, and that's not because I really love the flavour, it's just because there is flavour. If other strains, like yesterday when I tried the crumbled lime 10, that flavour is better than this in my opinion, but it's so muted that I couldn't give it a high rating. So if that flavour had been as powerful as this one, then that might have been a 10, whereas I don't enjoy this flavour myself as much, but purely for the fact that there is a strong flavour there, I'm going to give it an 8. And the effects for me are an odd one so far. Like, if I, like, between takes, I don't know if you can tell, but I move around, I don't stand still during takes, so as I'm moving around and I'm looking around, every so often I'll get like a holy shit, this is really strong type of feeling, and then I'll look in a different direction, or I'll come back over here to talk about it and it doesn't feel as strong. It's almost like it comes in waves, and if I stand still for too long, it sneaks up behind me and it punches me. But if I'm in motion, then it feels quite energetic. But I feel like if I allowed myself to sit down, this could also be quite relaxing, because my shoulders feel relaxed, my arms feel heavy actually. I don't feel like I'm being made to sit down or pulled down by gravity or anything like that, but I also don't feel light. If anything, I would say some of the relaxing strains make me feel super light. This one's making me feel heavy, but not in a way that's making me want to sit down. If I were to sit down, I don't think I'd get back up, but if I'm not sitting down and I'm constantly in motion, this feels almost energetic in a way. I'm sure throughout the weeks when I'm using this and I experiment with different times of day, I'll find out whether it is a good one for sleep. I was going to say a good indica for sleep, but it's a hybrid, so that's not what I meant to say. If it's good for sleep or if it's good for the daytime, like I said, right now I feel not quite energetic, but almost in a way, but also relaxed and sedated. I can't work it out right now. Regardless, I feel good in myself, so I'm going to give Atomic Sour Grapefruit, for the first time trying it, I think I'm going to give this... I'm stuck between a 7 and an 8. I don't think it's quite an 8 for me at this moment in time. I think I'm going to give it a 7.5. I've read so many reviews over on the UK Medical Sub about people just raving about this, and I think that I've hyped it up in my head so much, and after seeing the crumbled lime 10 yesterday and then seeing this today, I'm not disappointed, but it's not as good as I feel everybody else has said it is. So I don't feel like I'm being negative, because I do like it. Like I said, it tastes good, it looks decent, it smells good, there's nothing wrong with it. I would get this again as of right now. Maybe when I've been smoking it for a couple of weeks I might change my mind, but as of right now I would get this again. But I will say I do think it's been overhyped by a lot of people, or maybe it's just what I've been reading. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for the Atomic Sour Grapefruit. If you like this video, leave a like, leave me a comment telling me if you've had the Atomic Sour Grapefruit and what I should get on my next script. Subscribe for more videos, keep your eyes peeled to see when I do my full review of this in a few weeks' time. Like I said, subscribe, don't forget, that's very important. Leave a like. Peace.